Guys, 12 gauge Paige VanZant is moving on to the next chapter of her combat sports career. This Friday night, she will be fighting Bare Knuckle against Brittan Hart. Nick and I are talking about that right now. What's up, Barn Hill family? Welcome back to the channel.
Yo.
So, Nick, it's not every day that we do a video on Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, but when Paige VanZant is making her debut, I think regardless of what your opinion is on Paige, she is a figure in the sport. She's somebody that a lot of people know. She's somebody that a lot of people follow, and she's somebody that I'm personally a fan of. So I think it's worth doing a video.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see where her career has taken her. Yeah. I would have never in a million years guessed that Bare Knuckle would be the place that she wound up after the UFC. I thought for sure it was going to be Bellator with her husband.
That would have made sense.
Yeah, Mr. VanZant. But I think that, you know, if she's willing to get in there and dog it out with these girls that are kind of tough, you know, rough around the edges girls, then, you know, more power to her. I do personally think that Bare Knuckle, the organization, hit a jackpot being able to land her, and I think there's going to be some serious eyes on this show.
Yeah, Bare Knuckle's business model, seemingly since they've been in existence for the last couple of years, is to cherry pick a couple of big names and to try to build their organization around those people. Yeah. None being bigger than Paige. I mean, Paige came into the UFC at 21 years old and went on a 3-fight win streak. I believe she was 6-1 to start her career, but 3-fight win streak to enter the UFC. And the UFC was just all about it. You know, You have a beautiful girl, speaks well, she's a professional dancer, she's an ass kicker, and then she really cooled off. When she started to get up there with the best competition, you realize that while there was a market for Paige, she was not really capable of competing with the women that are at the top of that, the Joanna Jędrzejczyks, the Zhang Wei Lees, the best of the best at 115. And unfortunately, she ended her UFC career less than 500. She went 5-6 in the UFC, and they kind of gave her walking papers, and Bare Knuckle was happy to scoop her up.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
She's been at Top Team down in South Florida, you know, one of the best MMA camps that there is. She's there with her husband. They've got a team built around Paige. They know how big of a star she is. And even though she's not competing in the UFC or in Bellator, they know that wins for Paige are a good thing for ATT. And so they think that they got the remedy to beat her opponent, the young Brittan Hart, who admittedly I had to look up to find out any information on her. She's only got about 8,000 followers on social media. I believe she still works in the service industry. She's a good blue-collar, ass-kicking woman from Virginia, and she said, hey, I'm going to knock Paige out in the first round and derail the hype train.
There you go. And she's got the opportunity of a lifetime, you know, sitting at her hands. She's going to have a lot of eyes on her. Hopefully that doesn't shake her up too much and get her too nervous to compete and just perform at her best. I think that Paige they're probably going to give her somebody that they think she can beat because they want to see somebody they're sinking some money into do well in their organization. And, you know, Bare Knuckle is, even though it's not exactly my speed and it's not my preferred method of fighting in combat sports, it is entertaining. I will give that to them. It is kind of a wild show. It's exactly what you expect a bare knuckle cage fighting or bare knuckle whatever extravaganza to be. and it's wild, and you tune in for the 1 or 2 big stars that they have on the pay-per-view at the top of the bill. But since you pay the $25 or whatever it is, you do settle in, you know, grab your popcorn and watch the fights leading up to it, and they're always pretty entertaining.
It's like watching a car accident. You don't want to look, but you can't stop.
Right.
It's that, and everything about it is so cheesy, but in the best of ways. I don't mean that disrespectfully. From the ring announcer to the guy that owns the organization, like
him like docking fighters' pay, like making an announcement midway through a fight that he's going to dock people's pay.
Imagine with you know how I'm a Dana fan. Yeah. Imagine if Dana, with all the hate he gets, if he got in the ring and was like, those guys didn't fight as hard as I would have liked to see them fight, so I'm going to dock their pay 50%. The uproar on the internet would be be unfathomable.
As it should. And that guy got some heat for that. I think that rightfully so, he got some heat. I don't know anything about the CEO or the president of Bare Knuckle. I do find the towing the line and it's time to knuckle up, all that stuff to be fantastic. And, it's hilarious. Yeah. And it's such a ridiculous thing that is in our sport or in our industry, but it is a thing and people are tuning in to see it. And look,
they're making it work and they're carving out a market. I thought they were going to fail. I was like, This is a joke. This is going to go the same way De La Hoya MMA, Golden Boy MMA went, which is one and done. But no, I was wrong.
Yeah, they found a few states that seem to like the thing. The fans in those
states,
Mississippis
and the Floridas. And
they love the action and they love 12 Gauge Paige, I'm sure. And I think that it's undeniable. She's one of the biggest stars that women's mixed martial arts has ever seen. Obviously not solely for her skills, but for her looks, and she's an entertainer. She's got an infectious personality. And I think that for them as an industry, as an organization to scoop up one of the biggest names in female fighting is props to them.
Yeah, and you hit the nail right on the head. They're not bringing Paige in and paying her what they're paying for her to lose.
Right.
So they believe that she's going to beat Brittan Hart. They're going to be very careful with who they choose for her. Paige was known for her kicks, her knees, her elbows, her clinch game. Never really for her boxing. Now, you can clinch. I don't know all the rules of bare knuckle like I know the unified MMA rules. But I do believe that clinching is allowed as long as it's an active clinch. So that could come into Paige's favor, but she will not be able to utilize those knees and elbows that she used a lot in the UFC. Brittan Hart has a lot more experience in boxing. She's got a 4-4-3 pro boxing record, so not a great record. She's 1-3 in bare knuckle. She just most recently won her last fight. She's going to have obviously more fight experience in the whatever they call bare that knuckle, ring,
circled,
the ring, gladiator circle or whatever the heck it's called. So she's towed the line more times than PVZ has. So she's going to have the advantage there. She does have a pro boxing record, but I have seen some of her stuff, and if I'm being honest, she's not the sharpest of boxers out there. No. I do believe that the training that Paige is getting at ATT and the training that she got before she went to ATT, what she does with her husband and things of that nature is levels above what this young lady, Brittan Hart, is bringing to the table. Brittan Hart will bring a lot of heart, and she will bring a lot of fight and tenacity. But if I'm going to make a prediction, I think Paige is going to be able to get it done just because she's the more seasoned fighter.
Yeah. And, I don't think I'm like you in the sense that I don't know much about Brittan Hart. I had to look her up just like you did. I think this is a big opportunity for her. They're clearly bringing her in as the B-side to get beat. But, crazier things have happened. And in bare knuckle, anything can happen. Personally, I don't think Paige VanZant possesses the kind of power to knock somebody out in bare knuckle. The misconception about bare knuckle is that you get hit way harder. And the truth of the matter is when you have no protection over your hands, you actually throw with a little more caution because you can break your hand off one punch to the skull. So the punches, while they do visual damage on every fighter's face that gets in the bare knuckle cage pretty much, people aren't throwing quite as viciously.
Right.
When you land with a cushion of leather, you're not going to get the bruises and the cuts like you will with a fist. But if you throw with the same speed that you throw with a padded leather over your hand, you're going to break your hand.
For sure.
So I think this fight to me screams going all the way to the judges and getting a decision. I think they're like 3-minute rounds, and it's like five.
Like a boxing
it's
round.
like five 3-minute rounds, right?
Yeah.
And so I see these girls going the distance. I think they'll both start to pull up a little bit off their punches after the first round, and we'll see a little bit of a sloppy boxing match. But it'll be entertaining while it lasts, and I think Paige VanZant will get the victory via unanimous decision. But I think her opponent will come ready to fight, and I hope that the nerves don't get to her, because I feel like if she can at least perform well, she'll gain some fans, and this will be good for her career.
One thing's for sure, she's going to have more than 8,000 followers after she fights Paige VanZant.
That's for sure.
But you're absolutely right about the, bare knuckle does more visible damage. Your face is cut up. And that was one of the reasons that Paige said she wanted to do this. So she said, I want to prove to everybody that I'm not just some pretty face that's trying to make money off of boxing. And or mixed
She's reading
martial
too
arts in
many
general.
comments on Instagram.
You can't get lost in the sauce of all of the comments. Anybody and everybody, and I do mean anybody, that steps into an amateur boxing ring, an amateur MMA cage at any level, in any state, in any corner of the world, is somebody to be revered and respected, and that is a courageous person.
Yeah.
Full stop, I don't care. So Paige already has earned my respect as far as that goes. She doesn't need to get in there and do bare knuckle. This is obviously something within herself that she feels like she needs to do.
Yeah.
And, maybe she makes a great career out of it. Maybe she brings this whole organization. She is the tide that will raise all ships if she can do well in bare knuckle.
For sure. And, we always make predictions on fights. And one thing I'm more interested in predicting is what she does after this. I don't think the shelf life on Paige VanZant is all that long as far as competing in combat sports. But she does seem to be hungry and wants to still compete and throw her name in the hat and see if she gets drawn to put on a show for us. And I would just personally like to see her win maybe 2 or 3 fights, however many fights she has on contract with bare knuckle, and then go over to Bellator. I think she's best suited as a mixed martial artist. She knows how to mix the martial arts well. Bellator can still most certainly get some good years and usage out of her. And I think it would be cool. It would be a cool story if her and her husband were in the same organization and they're fighting on the same cards. And I just prefer Paige in the MMA world as opposed to the bare knuckle one. But I am happy to see her getting a shot and making some serious money.
Yeah, me too. And I think it's going to be entertaining, to say the least. And I would like to see her finish her career at Bellator for all the reasons you said. She's there with her husband. There's a lot of marketing stuff you can do around that.
And I'll add, she lived in Oregon for a long time, and Gracie Baja up there, Gracie Baja in Oregon, where Chael Sonnen, all the Austin Vanderford, all of them trained, became American Top Team, and then they just moved down to Florida because it was a better fit for them, and I guess they wanted to get out of that cold weather and up in Oregon. I can't blame them for wanting to leave that part of the country. But I think that her on the...
You're going to get some nasty comments from any of the Oregon fans out there.
Yeah, I know. I just couldn't deal with the rain and all the other stuff up there. But
we like warm weather, guys. Sorry.
Yeah. Houston is as far north as we will ever live. But I think her... with Chael Sonnen, because they have such a long history of being friends, on the commentary desk would just be really good.
That would kill.
And I think it would crush. I think Bellator would get more out of her than bare knuckle will get out of her. Hopefully she sees this and agrees with it, and good luck to her on
Chael Sonnen with a wet
Friday.
Blanket would kill. Chael Sonnen with Paige VanZant would be even just that much better.
Yeah, let's be real. We're big Chael P. Sonnen fans around here.
That's it. Guys, thanks so much for watching. What do you think about this whole bare knuckle ordeal extravaganza venture for Paige VanZant? Is it a good career move? Is it a horrible career move? And is she going to beat Brittan Hart this Friday night? Let us know in the comments. We always appreciate engaging with you guys there. And like, comment, and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. And check us out on audio where you listen to podcasts. Have a great night, guys.
Peace.